Have you ever felt or seen someone close to you feel like they want intimacy, but once it becomes real, they get scared and run away? In the last video, we discussed the external symptoms of anxious-avoidant behavior, when someone seems close but avoids intimacy. Today, let's go back to the beginning, to the childhood bedroom, to understand why this happens. In this video, I'll explain how childhood trauma and experiences shape adult behavior. And keep in mind, in the next video, we'll explore how all of this truly feels from the inside and walk through the underlying mechanisms. We all know that behavior isn't just a choice, it's also a response shaped by events. So where does this behavior come from? What events lead to it? Let's break down how childhood experiences give rise to anxious-avoidant attachment. And it's important to remember, attachment patterns can change in adulthood. But what's behind the paradox of desiring intimacy while simultaneously fearing it? The key to understanding this lies in the contradiction that a child can't choose between safety and danger when both are coming from the same person. But what should a child choose? In the last video, I talked about the outward signs of this behavior. Now let's look at where it all began in childhood. Like all children, a young one instinctively knows, when in danger, seek comfort from those who are stronger, from adults. Mom, dad, or another caregiver they are supposed to protect. But what happens when these people themselves are a source of fear? Imagine this. A child is scared and runs to a parent, but the parent doesn't comfort them. The parent yells, scares them, becomes unpredictable. To the child, their protector becomes the one who threatens. On one hand, the instinct says, seek help, but reality whispers the one who should help is dangerous. This is the paradox. The safe adult becomes the threat, and the child's psyche can't handle this contradiction. Nearly 30% of children grow up in environments where emotional support from parents is either absent or inconsistent, making them more likely to develop anxious-avoidant attachment. What does the child do when their protector is the one scaring them? Their behavior becomes contradictory and chaotic. The child may reach out to the parent only to stop suddenly and pull away. They seek help, but at some point fear paralyzes them. This is called disorganized or anxious-avoidant attachment. There's no clear strategy here, just dissociation and desperation. Imagine a young child reaching for her mother, but she, tired and irritated, pushes them away. Now there's double the pain, from the fall and from her reaction. The parent who scares their child may be themselves a victim. Their own trauma, neglect, physical or emotional abuse, loss gets passed down through their behavior. They might not even realize their reaction is a continuation of their own childhood wounds. This is transgenerational trauma, passed from one generation to the next. The child doesn't see the parent, they only feel the frightening behavior of the one who should protect them. A mother who experienced physical trauma in childhood sees her child crying. Instead of comforting, her face changes. This isn't just crying, it's a trigger bringing her back to her own childhood. It may cause freezing and withdrawal, but the child can't understand that. Unresolved ghosts from the past are passed through behavior, not words. Don't forget to go back to the first video to better understand how this manifests in external reactions. From this painful experience, the first internal beliefs about the self and the world form. These beliefs become part of our worldview for life. Model of self, I'm bad, I'm dangerous. Model of others, others can be a source of warmth, but at any moment that warmth can turn to pain. Model of the world is unsafe, I can't relax. This model of beliefs shapes everything about how we see life. An adult with this model might hear a compliment on a date, you're amazing, but their internal voice will respond, this is dangerous, and then they begin to distance themselves because they can't believe someone could actually love them. To survive this paradox, the psyche develops adaptive mechanisms. This is dissociation, when feelings shut down and the person becomes empty, and avoidance, when they pull away from intimacy to avoid vulnerability. These mechanisms help us survive in a state of constant stress, but they also limit the ability to have healthy relationships later. 40% of adults struggle to form stable relationships due to unresolved childhood trauma and attachment issues. This is a brilliant solution developed by the psyche in difficult, impossible conditions during childhood. The psyche adapted to pain, fear, and mismatch, creating an internal model of the world where closeness is a threat and trust is dangerous. But that doesn't mean there's no way out. It's simply an adaptation that can be changed. What seemed senseless is actually a brilliant survival mechanism. Don't miss the next video where I'll talk about how this parallel existence feels in everyday life.